Ready?
Oh,
Okay, if I would like to call the Munster Town Council meeting on Monday, December 19th to order. Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Present.
Counselor Mellon.
Present.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Present.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Present.
Counselor Gardner.
Present. If we can all rise for a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we have a public hearing for the additional appropriations for the Consumer Water Deposit Fund. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on with regards to the public hearing for the additional appropriation ordinance 1889? Seeing no one's here that wants to speak on that, I'll close the public hearing. And then we'll move into the public comment section of the meeting. We kindly ask that all in-person public comment is limited to 2 minutes maximum per person or 5 minutes for a group spokesman. Please keep your comments civil and constructive and related to public policy issues. In the event that questions are posed to the council, we will note your questions in the meeting minutes and will refer questions to the appropriate department or staff for follow-up and response. Public comments may also be submitted electronically to our town manager, Dustin Anderson, at danderson@munster.org. Is there anyone here that would like to speak during the public comment section of the meeting? See no one standing, we'll close the public comment section and we'll move into the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move we accept the consent agenda.
Second. There's a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Then we will move on second reading to old business. There's an ordinance before us, number 1889. This is on second reading. This is the additional appropriation Consumer Water Deposit Fund ordinance. Anything else to add?
No changes from
Quick treasurer
first
miss.
reading.
Okay, there's no changes.
I move we approve the introduced ordinance 1889 as presented.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Second item under old business, this is another ordinance for second reading. This is number 1890. This is the 2023 salary ordinance second reading. Clerk Treasurer Miss, is there anything to add?
There was, since first reading, there was some language modifying the holiday bonus, and then there was a typographical error that was corrected. And then there's some language that was added just this afternoon about there are certain employees, there's 16 employees that have hit the top of their grade even with the increase. And the way that's handled is they get the percentage increase. So if you're eligible for a 5% increase, you get that 5% increase, and it's paid out as a lump sum payment. And the language that changed says that that lump sum payment will be paid out over the course of a year and not in one payment. So that's different.
They're current employees
Yes.
who get paid through the whole year.
Yes. So it's just a different way of paying their raise because of where they're at in the stepping grade. I don't have any other items.
So effectively, they get the pay rise, but no increase in base salary because they're at the price.
Absolutely.
And it's paid the same.
And eventually it'll catch up to them, but it isn't there quite yet. So,
Very good. There's a, this is out for, we need to see a motion.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I would move to adopt ordinance 1890 on second reading as amended.
Second bit. There's a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. President, I would just make the comment that, that thanks to the efforts of, staff, the clerk treasurer's office and Mr. Anderson's town manager's office and all the department heads, I think that the salary ordinance represents some very positive, changes but it's not to say that we won't be looking at things in the future. I think that we've made great steps and we want to keep that momentum. I think what we did too with the insurance benefits and increasing what the town covers and giving the employees more in their take-home pay was a positive. There are many things in this that we have stratified, and I just say that we took some great time and a lot of effort was spent on it, and I thank everybody who contributed to that, and I look forward to looking for other ways to reward our employees going forward.
Good. Other comments?
Yeah, Mr. President, I would concur with that. In a market, like if you're out there in the marketplace right now, you might be hearing about layoffs. And when that happens, usually there's no pay increases. And the normal thing we would do is apply a standard approach, but this year was really taking an effort to be strategic and help support the town and give certain employees a chance to catch up. And it's not so it's a start rather than the end of starting to look at how to keep the town as an attractive place to be employed.
Very good. Other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen,
Yes.
Counselor Mellon,
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki,
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Moving on to ordinance 1891, item A under the new business. This is regarding the group transfers, additional appropriations. Clerk treasurer, miss anything to add to the memo that's in front of us?
No, just that the, my apologies. No, it just what the memo says. Sorry.
Mr. President, I move that we consider ordinance 1891 on first reading and schedule a second reading for the first meeting in January 2023.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Now moving on to letter B, ordinance 1892. This is also on first reading. This is amendment number 5 to 2022, this year's salary ordinance. Clerk treasurer, miss anything to add to the memo that's in front of us?
Nothing, the memo explains it,
Very good. Wishes of the council?
I move that we adopt ordinance 1892 on first reading as presented.
I would also, though, due to the fact, if I could just interrupt your motion, Mr. Schoen.
Oh, yes.
Due to the fact that this is a salary issue and it's how we're currently paying our firefighters, we'd like to, and since their raise that happened or their increase a couple months ago, we'd like to pass this, suspend the rules on first read and pass this ordinance on first read.
Good idea. I move then that I amend the motion to say that we suspend the rules and waive on first reading to allow the ordinance to be adopted as presented tonight.
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion, a second. Did I do a good enough job explaining that, Clerk Treasurer, miss?
I think so, yes.
Okay,
I think so too.
okay, very good. I just want to make sure
Thank
it's
you for
clear.
catching that. I was distracted by something else. And
Okay, any further discussion or questions?
we have a motion by Ken Schoen and LA.
Very good. Seeing no discussion, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Moving on to item C, which is regarding the resolution 2000 or 2102. This is 2022 encumbrances, another end of the year item. Clerk Treasurer, miss anything to add?
Nothing to add to the memo. There are 14 purchase orders that represent just over $4 million that are open.
I move we adopt resolution 2102 as presented.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. There is a new item on the agenda that was added earlier today. This is the 2023 property casualty renewal. Counselors received a handout that was on the podium in front of you earlier tonight. Town Manager Anderson, would you like to add anything to this item?
No, just an apology that it did not get out on Friday. My mistake.
Can you just give a little bit of background? This is what type of
So this is all just like you have auto insurance and property insurance for your daily life. This is ours for the town. So liability, general liability, property, auto liability, then individual lines of coverage for the methane plant, cyber liability. And so the way we approach this is we have a broker that is AJ Gallagher, who tests the market for us each year and negotiates on our behalf. We have a pretty good roster of carriers. Last year, AIX left the municipal market, so we were able to get Old Republic. Old Republic's been good to us over the year. So in spite of what has been a pretty gnarly claims year across the board in 2022, we're able to offer a just under 7% increase, and that's due to the increase in self-insured retention. So if you look on that first page at the bar graph, that green line typically has been 100,000 for a few years. And for years and years before that, it was 75,000. The market is moving away from that. You can still get $100,000 self-insured retention, but you would pay a lot of money. In our case, you would pay about $42,000 more a year for that. So if you look at our claims history, and that's open claims are included in the executive summary as an attachment to this memorandum, you don't see a lot of claims in that 1 to 150. So we're going to bet on ourselves and our past experience, and that should be sufficient to capture that $42,000 difference between the $100,000 retention and the $150,000 retention cost of premium. So we're not moving any carriers. We have locked in a 2-year rate for workers' compensation, which is a great get. So I'm all things equal, I'm pretty pleased with where we landed on this year.
Very good. Wishes of the council?
Mr. President, I would authorize the town manager to bind coverage for liability insurance program as presented in the 2023 renewal act.
Second. There's a motion, a second. A discussion or questions?
I noticed it was classified as a gnarly claims year. Lots of things can go into what drives claims. I just asked that if it is a particularly bad year, if we could look at what's driving some of those, and if there are lessons to be learned from things that have happened, that we take a look at that. And my question there is the clubhouse included in this, or is that a separate?
It is. Well, it's a separate policy, and it's kind of like I would, if you remember growing up and when there was no cable and you saw the commercials late at night for the general automotive insurance, that's the kind of insurance we have for the clubhouse. It is just a catastrophic claim, which is sufficient because it is not open to the public. But you don't want to have a facility where anybody may enter that you don't have any kind of insurance on.
It was still able to be insured,
Mhm.
and this covered it. I'll note that Shaquille O'Neal uses the general.
There you go.
Very good. Other questions or comments? Very good. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Under new business, letter E, the town of Munster versus Roberts settlement agreement. There's a settlement agreement in front. Anything to add Attorney Weston, Town Manager. Wishes of the council?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion, a second, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Next on the agenda is letter F. This is the license approval. This is a memo coming from the town manager. Anything to add, Mr. Town Manager?
No, normally you wouldn't see this, so I appreciate you indulging in this item, but it will allow us to secure our licenses that keep all the servers running, that keeps the town in business. So just the way the meetings fell, it thought in excess of prudence, I'd prefer to have this paid sooner than later.
Very good. Wishes of the council?
Mr. President, I move that we approve the 3-year license renewal for 20 Cisco, how do you pronounce it?
Meraki.
Meraki, I was gonna guess, but licenses at a cost not to exceed $30,821.85.
Second. There's a motion, a second, any discussion?
That's the cost for all 3 years.
For each of the 3 years.
That is the total cost for
The
3
total
years.
cost.
So 10,000.
Over 3 years.
This may be a technical question. that
I won't be able to
won't
answer.
be able to answer. These are for servers that we have on premise,
Mhm.
and so many things have been moving to the cloud for 20 years. Just wondering if if it's, even best practice to have servers on premise, unless these are for body camera.
Some servers require on-premise servers. We do have a number of cloud-based servers. We run Office 365, right? Like, so that's a cloud-based software as a service. But some things we have require a good old-fashioned rack. Yeah, and even in the cloud-based servers, like what the Meraki license does is allows remote access to that. So even if it was a cloud-based service for a server, right, you still have to have an interface for your offsite engineers to access that and perform either emergency or preventative maintenance. So the need for a license for this solution would still exist,
Okay, thank you.
at least from my layperson's understanding.
Those are lay questions.
Yeah, trying to get a pretty good job.
Good job,
Very good.
everybody.
You better stop the questions there. Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Item G, this is the Public Works Street Division purchase of a new 2023 F-350. There's a recommendation in front of us.
President, I move that we approve the 2023 Ford F-350 truck with stake bed purchase for net price after trade-in of $63,853 from Paul Herring Ford to replace unit number 314.
Second.
There's a motion, a second, any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Yes.
Not relevance maybe for this particular purchase or the next one, but maybe an idea for the town to start looking into electric vehicles for some of these, some of these trucks that are coming up.
So in response to that, I'd like to say that I did reach out to Public Works about that idea. The electric vehicles that all of our pickup trucks are equipped with snow plowing equipment, either plows or salt spreaders. Those run on hydraulics and they are not supported by electrical vehicles at this time, but they're very interested in moving toward more electric equipment. And there's a show every year, I guess, that's coming up. And Luke was talking about reaching out to those people and seeing if they've made improvements in their technology in order to be able to do that. So, and in response, we were talking at the agenda review about Hobart. They have natural gas fleet, not electric fleet. So,
Yeah, I know I think some of the results have come out, or at least some things have been in the paper around greenhouse gas emissions and that baseline study that we did. So there were some results by region and town. It's good just to keep, I think we ought to go to the conference or the show to see how the technology is evolving, and longer term work towards a green fleet if we can. But this is good for now, sorry.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Next purchase is purchase of the new 2023 F-250.
Move we approve the 2023 Ford F-250 truck with Boss snowplow purchase for a net price after trade-in of $55,740 from Paul Herring Ford to replace unit 320.
I'll second.
Very good. Motion second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Letter I, geotech proposal for 45th Street paving. Deputy Town Manager D. Tomaso, would you like to add anything to the memo?
yeah, just that the information that we get from this investigation will not only help us decide how to do the rehabilitation, the short-term rehabilitation of the road, but also when we do have to rebuild it, we're going to be collecting some soil conditions underneath the pavement as well, and that'll help with that.
What's the length? How much of 45th?
It's almost a mile,
Okay.
like 4,800 feet.
What are the bounds?
Oh, from state line to just west of Calumet, where the underpass project stopped.
Mr. President, I move that we authorize the town manager to sign the proposal from Advanced Engineering Services in the amount of $7,580.
I'll second.
Very good. There's a motion second. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I would just say, I'm really glad that we're moving forward with looking into this, because I've had numerous residents bring it to our attention that the road is in desperate need, deteriorating, and even if this isn't the full fix, because I understand that is a very lofty amount to do that, but this will get us, how long was it that it would get us through?
It could last 5 to 7 years before
So-
it starts showing,
Okay.
yeah, significant wear.
Because there are some big, I've driven it too, and even in my Jeep that can take, you feel it. So anyway, thank you.
What about the east of 45th? They're starting to get bad too.
Between Southwood and White Oak.
There's a lot
The,
of potholes coming up right now. I mean, is that on, we have that on the timeline at all, on that side of 45th?
they are going to be, Lake County Highway will be repairing that, be rebuilding that bridge over Hart Ditch
Okay.
in the next couple of years. And that seems to me to be a good time to just, while the road's closed or under construction, to repave it then.
Very good. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I would just, reiterate that we could wait. We could wait until the whole road needs to be done, and it would be a disaster. So this is an investment that the town, and a significant investment that the town is making to have this road be usable until the full rebuild needs to be done. So I appreciate that, but also let people know this is not an extraneous expense, but an expense we're making as investment for that, chunk of road.
Very good. See no other comments or discussion. Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Moving on to letter J. This is the 2021-22 CCMG paving roadway and water main improvement change order number 2. Deputy Town Manager, Pete Tomaso, anything to add to this?
No.
Mr. President, I would move to approve change order number 2 for a net decrease of $207,870.67 to the contract for the 2022 roadway and water main improvements, North Delaware, East Delaware, Potomac, and River.
Just want to clarify, it should be $207,870.57.
57 cents.
Yes. Is that what you meant to say in your motion?
I was reading what was here, but I must
Did I have a scrivener?
Okay,
Sorry about that.
I must have meant to read it.
that's what I thought.
Yeah. Very good.
I didn't ask the
Now that we have the
question.
intent of the motion, second, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Moving on to letter K, 2023 LIT Economic Development Plan. Town Manager Anderson, anything to add to this?
I do not. This is something that you see every year.
There is a recommendation.
Mr. President, I would move to authorize the 2023 LIT capital expenditure plan as presented.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Meeting schedule for 2023. There's a outline in front of us. Mainly just, again, kind of reiterating the standard practice of the first and third meetings of the month for the town council meeting, along with other meetings. I would like to make one note or two notes. July 3rd is a Monday. That's the night before 4th of July. I would recommend that we at least look at Thursday, July 6th that week. That's what we did this past year, just to keep it on the same week if we do need to pay bills. The other night is November 6th, which is a Monday night before the local elections. I would like to suggest that we meet on Thursday, November 9th that week. Just those two changes. That way, when we make the meeting announcement, we can do that without having special meetings. A little bit easier for the offices when we sunshine the meetings, or whatever the proper terminology is for sunshining.
Do we need a motion on this?
I think we need to approve the calendar
As amended?
as amended.
And I think we've already made the motion, or we made the announcement that the first Monday in January, that meeting is going to be on the second Monday in January. That's going to be on January 9th.
The agenda review will then be the first Wednesday of the month.
For the,
Agenda
Say
review,
about the date
agenda
and-
review will be on the Wednesday preceding a scheduled council meeting at 4 p.m. in the main meeting room.
that's going to stay the same.
The newly rescheduled meeting.
Yes.
In the January 9th meeting, start time is 7:30 PM.
That's correct.
And it's not a special meeting, it's properly announced.
Now it's announced, it's a regular meeting.
And I just have one question. I think this is the same as it was last year. The plan commission doesn't have a start time, but I think it does start at 7:30, even if the BZA is shorter than 45 minutes or there's no business for the BZA. I don't know if that needs to be indicated on here.
Well, as note that one also.
Okay.
As amended. Very good. So again, is there I guess we do need to have a motion to accept the meeting schedule as amended.
So I would move to accept the meeting schedule as amended by this discussion.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? Very good. Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Moving on to letter M, this is a 2023 reorganization of the Town Council Redevelopment Commission and appointments to boards and commission. There's a memo in front of you. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion for the reorganization of our nominations for the Town Council President.
Move that we have Chuck Gardner as president next year.
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Then I would entertain a motion for appointment nominations for the council vice president.
Mr. President, I move to nominate Counselor Dr. Kulturitis to serve as the vice president effective January 1, 2023.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Go ahead. Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Redevelopment Commission. There's 3 appointments to the commission. And the town council president appoints 3 of the members, and the remaining 2 are nominated by the town council. I will nominate. Who do I want to nominate? We'll start from this side. We'll start Counselor Tulowitzki, Counselor Kulturitis, and Counselor, that's Schoen, for 3 nominations for the redevelopment commission. It will be from the town council president. Then I will entertain a motion for the council to entertain the other 2 members of the redevelopment commission.
You and Leon.
That's correct.
You need
So
a
moved.
second on your first?
I think, do I need?
No.
No,
Because
The executive appointments, he just
appointing-
makes it.
This is.
I'm appointing them, and then now we need nomination for the other 2 members of the redevelopment commission.
So moved.
And I will say.
Okay, that was for Gardner and Mellon.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then all,
Who seconded? I'm sorry. Okay.
Steve.
Steve.
Okay.
Thank you.
so then we have a motion, a second for the final 2 members of the redevelopment commission. Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. Then we have an economic development commission position. Mohammed Salam his term will expire on January 31st. Clerk Treasurer Miss did have conversation with Mr. Salam earlier today, and he is interested in being reappointed for that economic development commission position. And
Rick Paulson.
Rick Paulson is the second one. Again, Mr. Salam, is that how you pronounce it? Salim. His appointment is
One is a 2-year and one is a 3-year.
So you can't do them together.
No, so one gets a 2-year and the other gets a 3-year.
So Richard also said he would like to.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so Mr. Salim's appointment, now, is that a appointment by the council president, or is it should we nominate and make a motion for the whole council to approve that?
What about the 3rd member?
The third member is appointed by the Lake County Commission. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So we just need to worry about 2.
2.
No, it looks like we only have to do one. If Mr. Salim was nominated by the council and Paulson was not appointed by the town council president, is it like the redevelopment commission that the council does one and the president does another?
It is.
It is. So
So which one does he get to do?
He should go first. He can do whichever one he
Okay, Chuck,
wants.
why don't you go first?
Okay, I will nominate Mr. Salim. I will appoint Mr. Salim as the representative of the Economic Development Commission for the term that will expire on,
Is that the 2-year?
I can't read,
January 31st, 2026.
2026.
Yes.
3-year.
Okay, then I will entertain a motion.
I move that we appoint Richard Paulson to the Economic Development Commission for a term that expires on January 30, that expires, I guess, on January 31st, 2023.
25.
25.
He gets 2 years.
He gets
Okay.
2.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion with regards to that? Roll call, please.
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Counselor Gardner.
Yes. And then finally, we have the RDA Transit Development District Steering Committee. In the past, that's a one-year appointment. Is there a recommendation to continue having Leanne Mellon serve as our representative? So moved. There's a motion, is there a second?
Have we checked that she wants to?
Should I just throw a monkey wrench and say no? Yes, I will.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion, a second, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Oh, no, I'm, roll call, please. We need roll
So
call.
we'll circus up
Counselor
here
Counselor
now.
Schoen.
We have to go on record
Yeah,
saying we
yeah.
approve this.
Okay,
Counselor Schoen.
Yes.
Counselor Mellon.
Yes.
Counselor Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Counselor Kulturitis.
Yes.
Counselor Gardner.
yes. Okay, the other appointments will be made, portfolio assignments will be made at the next council meeting on January 9th.
One question,
Yes.
do we need a president and a vice president of the redevelopment commission?
We do that at the redevelopment commission.
Redevelopment.
Redevelopment Commission, we'll make that meeting. We'll do
Oh,
that at that
yeah,
meeting.
during that meeting, okay.
That's our next
Just
meeting.
jumping the gun.
Yeah,
We don't,
I'm pretty excited about it, so.
okay, that will close the reorganization of the town council, commissions and appointments to the boards. Anything under portfolio reports from the council? Seeing none, announcements, there is no meeting on January 2nd. That meeting will be on January 9th at 7:30. That is a special start time, at 7:30 on Monday, January 9th. And then we will continue having our next council meeting on January 16th. Those are the meeting announcements. Anything else? Entertain a motion for adjournment.
So,
There's a motion and second. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
the town hall will be closed January 2nd. Because it'll be the legal holiday.
Very good. Then we'll move into the redevelopment commission.
All right,
We're good.
yes,
Okay.
Commissioner Schoen, oh, you ready for roll call? Commissioner?
Roll call, please. Yeah.
Commissioner Schoen,
Present.
Commissioner Mellon,
Present.
Commissioner Tulowitzki,
present.
Commissioner Kulturitis,
Present.
and Commissioner Gardner.
Present. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak in front of the redevelopment commission? Seeing none. we'll
Mike,
move
it's your chance. Mike, it's your chance.
Either might
Mike,
be talking.
either might.
Either might be talking.
We got both mics. We got both mics.
We will move into the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as given.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, roll call.
Commissioner Schoen,
I tried. Yes.
Commissioner Mellon,
Yes.
Commissioner Tulowitzki,
Aye.
Commissioner Kulturitis,
Yes.
Commissioner Gardner.
Yes.
Thank you for approving the consent agenda.
Okay.
That was
There is no
painful.
old business, but new business.
This is an annual report. This is the taxing units that are involved with, that we're a part of. We have to have a report that just talks about where the redevelopment commission budget and how it's allocated. The report is here. People, the taxing units were invited to come to this meeting. They're seeing only Mr. Hawkins here. Everyone will receive a copy of the reports as presented here in your packets.
Is there any discussion regarding the report? Seeing none, do we need to accept the report?
I don't think that you, I don't know that you do.
No.
Just
Okay.
present.
Just
The report has been
Here we're
presented.
presenting it. Ta-da! Thank you
Okay.
to Ms. Abbott for pulling that together in my absence last week. So thank you.
Very good. Moving on, is there any other reports? Entertain a motion for adjournment?
I thought we were supposed to vote.
President.
Vice president.
And let's reorganize.
Jeff's
Let's,
excited.
yeah, let's reorganize. I got the people that want to.
Mr. President.
Let's reorganize the Munster Redevelopment Commission. Entertain entertain a nominations for president of this.
Mr. President, I nominate the Honorable Chuck Gardner as president.
Second.
All that mess we will do today. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mellon.
Yes.
Commissioner Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Commissioner Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Commissioner Gardner.
Yes. And then for vice president of the redevelopment commission, is there any nominations?
I nominate Dr. Eddie Kulturitis.
And I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Ken Schoon and Steve Tulowitzki. Thank you. Commissioner Schoon.
Yes.
Commissioner Mellon.
Yes.
Commissioner Tulowitzki.
Yes.
Commissioner Kulturitis.
Yes.
And Commissioner Gardner.
Yes. Very good. Now we can,
Now you can.
I'll second.
motion, second, all in favor of adjourning?
I
Meeting adjourned.
think some
Yeah.
Mr.